Hey guys, what's up? Evil Hammer 6 here, and today I'm going to do a review over a series of items, and these are all items that can fit in the fairly new slot, which is the pocket slot. So there's most of the items that fit in this slot are more effective for bossing or some type of combat. So the first two main ones that I use, I'll go over, and these are the Sign of Item Protection and the Sign of Life. For the Sign of Life, there are also portents of these two items that you can make, but these two are tradable. The Sign of Item Protection, I believe, is about 20k, and the Sign of Life is, let's see, 12k. What they will do is one time within one so if you die, the Sign of Life will bring you back to life if you have it equipped, and then it has a cooldown of 1 hour, so the next time that another one can be activated is 1 more hour. So what I'll do is I'll bring one of these, and then I'll bring an item protection, so I can use 5 items without worrying. And what I mean by 5 items is I mean 5 degradable items. Since they made the Dry Wars and stuff, any degradable item, when you drop it, it degrades on the ground. These have become very, very useful. So what I will do is I will wield my full Tetsu, which is 3 degradable items, with my offhand mace and my main hand mace. And if I die with this and my protect item on, that will let me save 5 items. So none of those will degrade, which is great. So that's what those two are basically used for the most. Now there's only 2 real skilling ones that you can use, and this one here, the Sign of Porter, can also be used for combat. What it does is it will bank items for you. Now the list of items that it will bank is fairly long. You will have to look it up. It can be used for a lot of I wouldn't say bossing, but a lot of Slayer monsters. It's really good for the dragons because it will bank all of the dragon hide that you get, and you'll only have to pick up the bones or bury them depending on what you feel like. And basically what you do is you wield it in the pocket slot, and it will bank up a certain amount of items for you. This one I have, well, this you can click on what, it'll tell you all the things that it will bank, and as you can see here, it banks a shit ton of items. But where you'll see check items now, you can't. I believe this one banks 20 items. I don't remember, but you have to make these yourself. You cannot buy them, so it is based off your divination level. So when you go in here, you will have to look up to see which ones you can do yourself, because you cannot trade them. And they usually require some kind of jewelry to make. And even this one right here, the level 28 one, it will bank 10 items for you. So if you put it in your inventory, what I find them useful for is mining and fishing. Really efficient. You can just put 28 of these in your inventory, and all you have to do is equip a new one after the old one's done, and you can bank about, let's see, 20. This I think does 20 items. 20 times 20, that's 400 items that you don't even have to go to a bank. So that's what that's useful for. And the other ones that are used for skilling are the scrimshaws. Now these are only you can only do this by making them in your player-owned port at this little thing over here, craft them. You can craft superior ones which last twice as long, or you can buy them on the GE, and they range from anywhere for the skilling ones, they're around 200, 300k. And the ones I use for that are this one right here, the tree shaking scrimshaw. That's really helpful for doing the crystal tree. You get a lot more the crystal geos that drop, so it gives you a little bit more money. It pays for itself, definitely does. I have a video on that. If you guys want to look that up, I have a video going over this. There's the rock crushing one, which gives you a little bit more chance to crush the ore, which you get additional mining experience. This is if you don't want the ore. Don't use it if you want the ore. There's a tree shaking scrimshaw, which that's what I have. A log splitting one, which does the same as the rock crushing. A gem finding one, which gives you a better chance of finding gems and higher level rocks. And that's about all of them for the skilling one. And then for the combat scrimshaws, here I have the ranging one, the vampirism one, and the elements one. Now the vampirism one, basically for every successful melee attack, you absorb a small portions of the enemy's health. So basically it's like soul split. I believe it is the same percentage as soul split. And then the ranging one and the magic one give you better critical chance, which is kind of helpful. And the elements one actually gives you every magic attack hit, you get a small extra damage done to it. And there's a couple other ones, which one that causes a bleed or poison effect, and I think that's it for that. Oh, one more skilling thing here, guys, is the, let's see here, I have some in here. They're called spirit gems. Spirit gems. Now I have a dragonstone one, spirit, a diamond, emerald, and ruby. You can get a onyx one as well, and what they do is they give you a certain percentage of chance of saving a charm when creating pouches. So there's a 10% chance for sapphires, and it goes all the way up to 60% for onyx. And then the same thing with the charges they have. There's 10 charges for sapphire and 10 for onyx, and I believe these work by how many times you go and use it. So it will work for 10 charges, means it will work for 10 times you summoning a full inventory of, getting a full inventory of one pouch. And then the last couple things here, guys, are the sign of respite. Now this will be useful if you're doing a decent amount of solo God Wars and you don't really have a friend or someone that can go bless the grave, or you're new and you want to make sure you can get back. What it does is you combine it with limestone, and it will extend your grave timer by up to 6 minutes. Is the tier 3 one, so that's nice for that, especially if you have a lower tier gravestone and you don't want to go do a bunch of bossing. That helps there. And then one other thing I'm going to go over here, I believe I have some of these in here as well. I forgot about that. I don't know if I do or not. I did at one point. They're called restoration portents right here. And there's two versions of them. There's attuned and just regular portents. The attuned ones means you created them and they're untradeable, but they do heal more. And there are unattuned ones which are tradable and they heal all less. Basically what they'll do is when you go under a certain amount of life points, which is 50%, they'll automatically heal you whatever the piece of food would. So for the attuned portent restorations X10s, they do the same healing as a rocktail. And you don't have to click anything, you don't have to click on the food, it just automatically goes and heals you. And also it does not lower your adrenaline, so it's very helpful in that situation. Unfortunately, they're quite pricey because making a attuned portent of restoration 10, which requires 60 incandescent energy and a rocktail, that is 10K. So that's quite expensive considering clicking a rocktail is 2.6K and heals you the same amount. It's just the free HP you get from that. Now if you don't want to use rocktails, you can obviously use lower ones, but they're still quite expensive. So that's it for going over the pocket slot items. If you guys kind of like this, I just thought this was a good thing to go over because pocket slot items are fairly new and there's quite a bit of them. Also, there is one more I forgot to mention, or no, that's not pocket slot. No, that is everything, I believe. I don't think I missed any. So if you guys like this kind of thing, I could go over one for each of the slots that I find effective, but this is the most effective one, I believe. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.